Page 27. No, not redecorating, he says quickly, then smirks, and I have the uncanny feeling that he's laughing at me. Am I that funny? Funny looking? This way, I murmur, embarrassed. Masking tape is in the decorating aisle. I glanced behind me as he follows. Have you worked here long? His voice is low. He's gazing at me, concentrating hard. I blush brightly. What the hell does he have this effect on me? I feel like I'm 14 years old. Gosh, as always, out of place. Ice front steel. 4 years, I mutter as we reach our goal. To distract myself, I reach down and select the 2 widths of masking tape that we stock. I'll take that one, Grace says softly, pointing to the wider tape, which I pass to him. Our fingers brush very briefly, and the current is there again, zapping me as though I've touched an exposed wire. I gasped involuntarily as I feel it all the way down to somewhere dark and unexplored, deep in my belly. Desperately, I scramble around for my equilibrium. Anything else? My voice is husky and breathy. His eyes widen slightly. Some rope, I think. His voice mirrors mine, husky. This way. I duck my head down to hide my reoccurring blush. I move towards the aisle. What sort were you after? We have synthetic and natural filament rope, twine, cable cord. I halt at his expression, his eyes darkening. Holy cow. I'll take 5 yards of the natural filament rope, please. Quickly, with trembling fingers, I measure out 5 yards against the fixed ruler, aware that his hot gaze is on me. I dare not to look at him. Geez, could I feel any more self-conscious? Taking my Stanley knife from the back pocket of my jeans, I cut then coil it neatly before slipping it in a slip knot. By some miracle, I managed not to remove a finger with my knife. Were you a Girl Scout? He asked, sculpted sensual lips curled in amusement. Don't look at his mouth. Organised group activities aren't really my thing, Mr. Grey. He arches a brow. What is your thing, Anastasia? He asks, his voice soft, and his secret smile is back. I gaze at him, unable to express myself. I am shifting tectonic plates. Try to be cool, Anna. My tortured subconscious begs on bended knee. Books, I whisper, but inside my subconscious is screaming, You are my thing. I slap it down instantly, mortified that my psyche is having ideas way out of its league. What kind of books? He cocks his head to one side. Why is he so interested? Oh, you know, the usual, the classics, British literature mainly. He rubs his chin with long fingered and thumb as he compliments my answer. Or perhaps he's just very bored and I'm trying to hide it. Anything else you need? I have to get off this subject, those fingers on that face beguggling. I don't know. What else would you recommend? What would I recommend? I don't even know what you're doing. For a do-it-yourselfer? He nods, his eyes alive with a wicked humour. I flush my gaze straight to his snug jeans. Coveralls, I reply, and I know I'm no longer screaming what's coming out of my mouth. He raises an eyebrow, amused to get yet again. You wouldn't want to ruin your clothing. I gesture vaguely in the direction of his jeans. I could always take them off, he smirks. I feel the colour in my cheeks rising again. I must be the colour of the Communist Manifesto. Stop talking now. I'll take some coveralls. Heaven forbid I should ruin any of clothing, he says dryly. I try to dismiss the unwelcome image of him without jeans. Do you need anything else? I squeak as I hand him the blue coveralls. He ignores my inquiry. How's the article coming along? He finally asks me an easy question away from the innuendo and the confusing double talk. A question I can answer. I grasp it tightly with two hands as if it was a life raft and go for it honestly. I'm not writing it, Catherine is, Miss Kavanagh. My roommate, she's the writer, she's very happy with it. She's the editor of the newspaper, and she was devastated that she couldn't do the interview in person. I feel as if I've come up for air at last, a normal topic of conversation. Her only concern is that she doesn't have the original photographs of you. What sort of photographs does she want? Okay. Hadn't factored in the response. I shake my head because I just don't know. Well, I'm around tomorrow perhaps. You'll be willing to do a photo shoot? My voice is squeaky again. Kate will be in seventh heaven if I can pull this off, and you might even see him again tomorrow. The dark place at the base of my brain whispers seductively at me. I dismiss the thought of all this silly, ridiculous. Kate will be delighted if I can find a photographer. I'm so pleased. I smile at him broadly. His lips part like he's taking a sharp intake of breath, and he blinks for a fraction of a second. He looks lost somehow, and the eighth earth shifts slightly on its axis, the tectonic plates sliding into a new position. Oh my, Christian Grey's lost look. Let me know about tomorrow. Reaching into his back pocket, he pulls out his wallet. My card. It has my cell number on it. You'll need to call before 10 in the morning. Okay. I grin up at him. Kate is going to be thrilled. Anna? Paul has memorised at the other end of the aisle. He's Mr. Clayton's youngest brother, and I heard he was away from Princeton, but I wasn't expecting him to see him today. Excuse me for a moment, Mr. Grey. Grey frowns as I turn away from him. Paul has always been a buddy, and in a strange moment that I'm having with this rich and powerful, awesomely off-the-charts attractive control freak Grey, it's great to talk to someone who's normal. Paul hugs me hard, taking me by surprise. Anna, hi, it's so good to see you, he gushes. Hello, Paul, how are you? You're home for your brother's birthday? Yep, we're all looking well, really well. He grins as he examines me at arm's length. Then he releases me to keep in a possessive arm draped over my shoulder. I shuffle from foot to foot, embarrassed. It's good to see Paul, but it's also been overfamiliar. When I glance up at Christian Grey, he's watching us like a hawk, his eyes hooded and speculative, his mouth a hard, impassive line. He's changed from the weirdly attentive customer to someone else, someone cold and distant. Paul, I'm with a customer, someone you should meet. I say, try to diffuse the antagonizing I see in Grey's expression. I drag Paul over to meet him, and then they size each other up. The atmosphere is suddenly arctic. Paul, this is Christian Grey. Mr. Grey, this is Paul Clayton. His brother owns the place. And for some irrational reason, I feel I have to explain a bit more. I've known Paul ever since I worked here, though we don't see each other that often. He's back from Princeton, where he's studying business administration. I'm babbling. Stop now. Mr. Grey holds his hand out. He looks unreadable. Mr. Grey. Paul returns his handshake. Wait. Up to not the Christian Grey of Grey Enterprise Holdings. Paul goes from surely to awestruck in less than a nanosecond. Grey gives him a polite smile that doesn't reach his highs. Wow, is there anything I can get you?